Okay, it's probably really hard to hear me because I'm in the greenhouse right now. And these are the tomato plants that I normally work with. You can see that they are very long. I don't even know where the growing heads of these end at. But here is my plant that I work on. It's a cherry tomato. You can see because this fruit is very small. And this is what it looks like as it gets a little bigger. You can see these are yellow. And so when it comes to suckers, this thing, oh, maybe you can't see it. This thing right here is a sucker. This is a sucker as well. And this is the growing head right here. So I don't want to mess with that because that's going to keep my plant growing. If I lose this head, I could use one of these suckers here because this one has a lot, but we're not going to worry about that. So to take off the sucker, all you have to do is grab it. Let's see if I don't behead it. Oh, you couldn't even see that. All I did was grab it and break it off. Let me try again. Okay, let me try it with my better hand. Okay, so here's a sucker right here that's on that leaf. So all I'm gonna do is grab it like this, bend it backward and forward. It should just break right off. And so, let's see. A sucker right here has an apical meristem, which is the growing head, and this one actually has some flowers on it right there. All you have to do to grow this, and you see there's nothing in the bottom here, that's just like the inside of the plant. All you have to do is put that in water and it'll sprout roots at the bottom. If I hadn't pulled them up last week, I would show you, but here, oh yeah, there's still one right there. So this is like our output bucket where we dump like extra nutrient solution and like wastewater and stuff. And you can see right here, a tomatoes kind of started sprouting, and this is either because a sucker fell here or a tomato rolled over. But you can see it actually grew roots. And so these little suckers that you pull off the plant will grow roots. As long as you just put them in some water, they'll just grow right out. So that's how you take care of a sucker. I'll show you one more time. So here's a sucker here. Let's see. You see that? So you just back, forward, and it should just come right off. Sometimes they're a little harder when they're smaller. Usually when, I don't think I have a small one. Let me see. Here's a small one. So here's a really tiny sucker. You can just kind of roll your hand over it and it'll just fall right off. And then I have a bigger one. Let's see, where was it? Right here. So here's a bigger sucker. And I just, same thing, just back, forward, comes right off. You do want to be careful when doing that because if you're not used to working with the plant, you can easily break the stem. I'll take off a leaf to kind of show you how easy it is. So here's a leaf right here. Oh, let's get this one down here. So this is a leaf. This whole thing is a leaf, sorry. This whole thing is a leaf right here. So this is a leaf here. This is how easy it is to break. Like, oh, maybe, yeah, see, I just like ripped it right off. So do be careful when you take off suckers because you can break the plant. So make sure that when you do it, you just, let's see, you just grab a hold of the sucker. So you grab the sucker right there. See how difficult this one's? There we go, back and forth, comes right off. So taking off suckers shouldn't be too hard. Now the other thing is, I don't know if you noticed in the video at all, but there are bees. I don't see any, there's one. So we do have bees in our, where is it, right there? So we have bees in our greenhouse. The bees actually pollinate the flowers for us. And you can see right here how they have pollinated a flower. You can see because it's brown right there. That means that they have really been eating the pollen within the flowers. But you probably don't have bees. So what you do is you find where your flowers are, right? So here's my flowers. And you just want to loosen the pollen. So you just tap it like that. So look, see, I'm just hitting the plant. Wiggle it, and it'll loosen up its pollen. And you just do that every day, and it should grow fruit. And that's, good thing to do if you want to eat the tomatoes. You want them to grow. And then another thing too, as long as you keep the suckers off, the fruit can actually grow a little bit bigger. And then the other thing too, the reason why is because it's not expending nutrients trying to grow out another growing head, so it can focus it onto the fruit. So then another thing too, if you want your fruit to be big, this one you see has 2 trusses for the fruit. So what you can do is just take one of them and just break it right off or cut it off so that there's only one. So then this fruit will get bigger because it doesn't have to try to like fight for nutrients in different parts of the plant. Oh, here's a sucker way down here. Let's see. That's a sucker. You can't see it at all. There's a plant in the way. There's another plant in the way. Okay, so here's a sucker too, and I'm just gonna pull that. You got a whole leaf. But this is 6 minutes long now, so hopefully that showed you how to take off a sucker. Hopefully you could hear me. If you have questions, I'm still gonna be here for a few more minutes, so I can show you how to do that again if you need me to.